everybody, it's Neil. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me out here on the Widener Range on this beautiful day. I'm going to create another one of the shooting problems and break that down from a recent video from the big channel.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
So you may or may not have seen over the last couple of weeks, I took a few videos from the main channel and kind of found the shooting problem and worked through that, either the good guy or the bad guy or the innocent guy or whatever, however you want to say that, faced. And I just want to continue that along so that we can potentially go to the range and practice some of these things and put ourselves in these positions. And I'll be honest, one of the main reasons I'm doing this is there's a fair amount of people that out there that are like, well, that guy just needs to get to the range more because I could make that shot. And the reality is most of you can't. Most of us can't. I've already proved that I can't. The one of them that everybody said was pretty easy, I struggled with a little bit myself, and I think I'm at least an above average shooter. So I'm gonna break some of these things down, and then I'll challenge you. Take this to the range and set it up. The thing that we don't have is somebody shooting back at us, or that we're not in the middle of a fight or any of those kind of things, but the shooting problem itself can be a challenge, you know, and if you've got a range that'll let you turn off the lights, maybe you can try some of these in the dark. There was a recent video here. I'll kind of try to set this up. So to set this up just a little bit, the video that we're going to refer to and the problem that we're going to try to kind of recreate on the range, and again, not going to be anybody pulling a gun on us. But what it was there was a guy in a food truck, and I'm hoping that Thomas can edit in and show you at least a little bit of it to refresh your memory. And we'll put a link to the actual video from the main channel in there as well. But a food truck guy had been trespassed, and he walked into a business that had an armed guard. There was a little bit of pushing, and when the armed guard pushed him back, which again, if you watch the lessons, legally to use a little bit of natural force on somebody that's already been trespassed. But what happened was the food truck guy, and I'm not going to refer to him as a bad guy because I don't know the situation or not, but our food truck dude draws his gun and threatens the armed guard.
Who the fuck are you talking to? Don't fucking touch me, dog. Who the fuck are you talking to, dog? Like, really? Oh, God. Really?
The armed guard then takes a step back to what I'm guessing is somewhere between 4 to 6 yards, so we're going to shoot it at 5 today, draws his gun and starts shooting. Now the problem, if we look at this, and hopefully maybe as I've been talking, you've been able to see this. I don't know how Thomas is going to edit this or not. But the problem is that we already know that a person with the gun in their hand can probably shoot us in less than a second. I mean, I'll show you that portion here when we get to the shooting bit. But we also know that drawing from the drop is a challenge. Sometimes you don't have any choices. So hopefully we can get them to look away and, you know, or wait for them to look away. A lot of times when somebody draws a gun, especially in a robbery scenario, they're looking around for other things that may challenge them or something that may harm them or somebody else that is there to defend them. In this case, I think the food truck guy pulled the gun as a probably more of a threatening thing, so you don't really see him take his eyes off of him, but I don't think he was potentially prepared to actually use the gun. He was trying to threaten with it. But the thing is, if somebody pulls a gun on you guys, you have to believe that they're willing to use it. If you don't, it may be the last thing that you consider. If you're sitting there going, well, I don't know if he's going to use it, you may wake up in heaven or worse and decide that, you know what, maybe I should have tried to defend myself that day. So these are some of the considerations. But if you don't know your math, and when I refer to math, what I'm talking about is how fast can you get your gun into the fight? How accurate are you? All of those kind of things. And at what distances. If you don't test some of this stuff from time to time, you don't know who you are as a shooter well enough to potentially defend yourself in that moment. Again, I'm not saying you can't defend yourself in the moment and not to try. Oh, the bugs are getting bad down here today. But what you do, what I highly recommend is to at least know what your math is at the range so that you can at least add that to the calculus that you do on that day as you're looking at somebody's gun in their hand, or you're looking at somebody threatening your family or somebody else, or whatever the scenario is. And I know everybody has the scenario in their head what it's going to be, but I've talked to potentially thousands of people that have been in self-defense scenarios, and now I've never heard one say, well, it went exactly the way I had it in my head. So practice a bunch of different things. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice at 5 yards. We're just gonna draw and try to get headshots. You know, it's a little bit smaller, but if somebody's got a gun on you, potentially that's the way to go. There is the FIBSA factor, the fudge I'm being shot at. And we saw this in play on that video because the guy missed his very first shot, pushed it low left. If you've been watching videos, I push left once in a while too, so I totally understand that challenge. But if you don't know what you can do, you know, if you think that you're a 1.5 draw to first shot guy and you're actually a 2.0, you've got a half a second in there that the other guy gets to decide some stuff and gets a vote in what happens. So let's recreate this one and see what happens. So as we saw on the video, he backed up to, I'm going to say 5 yards, and then drew his gun and started shooting. Now he shot 16 times and then got a shotgun and finished the fight with a shotgun. Some people may say overkill. Guy still had a gun in his hand and was still talking, so I don't know. I'm not here to debate any of that. I'm here to recreate the shooting problem, and we're going to just do the standing up one. So first, before I do the draw to first shot, just want to show you what the speed looks like if somebody draws with the gun in their hand. And I'll bring the camera around to here. They were standing much closer. They were probably, I'm gonna say at 2 to 3 yards when our food truck guy drew his gun. Now he drew it one-handed and he kind of held it up like this. I think I'm on camera and I'm at about 3.5 yards from the target right now. But from here, all he's gotta do is that. And that's how fast that is. So our guard did not have a lot of time to react. So what the guard did was he backed up and drew at that time. So your range is not likely going to let you walk backwards and draw. So I'm going to take that out of it for right now. I've got my 5 yard marked with a flower because my range is in bloom. Most of that's thistles up there, but I'll spray those this afternoon. So from here, can we draw and get a headshot, and what does the timing of that look like? So before I even bring the timer into it, we know we don't have much time. So I gotta think we probably need to put our par time on this at a 1.3, 1.2 or less, because we saw how fast all he's got to do is push that thing out and shoot, and you're getting hit. Now, he's probably not going to get a real accurate shot one-handed as he's doing this and he's threatening you and all of that. All of that is for your consideration. The way I look at it is, you know, I always say when I do like a simulation or something with, you know, law enforcement or whatever, you know, bad guys miss too. We see it all the time. But in the training, bad guys never miss. They always get a shot, so you're dead. You know, and that's kind of some of the gotcha games that I think they play from time to time. But there is a little bit of rhyme to that reason in that he could get that headshot, and he will probably get you at that distance. So you've got to assume that you're going to be taking shots. Can you draw in that moment, and can you even make that shot? So first thing is, get back to your 5 yard line. If your range will allow you to draw, great. If not, then start with gun in hand. Can you even hit a head box? And what I'm talking about for the head box, I'm gonna go for this 3x5 card that's in our target, but can you hit this? That's about a 5-inch square. Can you hit that? You know, can you hit it at 5 yards? I'm gonna say most folks that go to the range can. That's not a terrible hard shot, but can we press out, see all of our sights, and get that shot? Now that's in the 3x5 card. But that was pretty slow. That was probably a 2.5 second draw. Imagine if the guy already had the gun out and saw me doing that, and he's got a go signal to go like that, I'm already shot before I've got mine. So I can hit fast enough to lose a gunfight. That's something that John says all of the time. So now that I'm back in the holster, I'm gonna put this thing on a timer and see what I can do. Now, so just so you can see the shots that are on the target, these are my 2 one-handed shots where I wasn't even looking at him. Charlie here would have hit, that was a big guard. This would have hit him in the shoulder. This was my, put one through the head in I don't know, 2.5 seconds or so. All right, so there's my flower. From here, oh, sorry. From here with the timer, turn that thing on. Now, I'm gonna start hands up because that's where the guard is, but you do see the guard back up and put his hands on his gun. So the guy did get that go signal. The food truck guy, luckily he didn't take it and get in the fight there. I think he thought he was in an argument and was trying to intimidate with a gun, is what I think. That's my opinion. That's me on my soapbox. But again, he drew a gun on somebody. You draw a gun on somebody, you better believe they're gonna fight back. It works both ways. That's a two-way street. So, guy's got his gun drawn. No, 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 no. So that was not fast at all for, well, for anybody's purposes. That was a 1.8, a 1.80. I don't know if you can see that or not. This clip is a pain, so. But it was a head box shot. So I was in the 3x5 card. So let's see if I can do that just a little bit faster. That was a 1.9. That was actually a little slower. Also, I'm in the 3x5 card, so I'm not rocket fast on any of these right now. .15. So, and that was in the head box. I'm in the 5-inch square. I'm up in the top corner. So I am not going fast at all there. Again, that's going to end the fight. Hopefully, if you hit him in the head, he's going to drop and be done, and hopefully that's all it takes. But what we saw was our guard. I mean, he started with body. He just started shooting, and he unloaded that gun pretty quick. So let's go to the body here and see what my timing looks like here. Okay. So with some follow-up shots, it was a 1.3 and a 1.7 split. So not a horrible, I went quite a bit faster. I got a Charlie and an Alpha. I'll show you the target here in just a minute, but let's just do that again. We're recreating the problem. We're drawing from the drop here. You know, if it's me that's got the drop on you and you draw that slow, well, there's gonna be a problem for both of us. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna win, it just means you're in the fight. So I need to pick up the pace here. Helps if you load your gun. That one felt good. I saw my dot was right on the A. I can say that with confidence since the gun didn't go off. But I did see my dot. All right. This is what I love about our channel is no matter how bad you screw up, it still goes up. So you get to, it's like you're right here with me watching me be an idiot. There we go. I'm cheating in. All right, here we go. There we go. That was an Alpha in 1.24. I'll show you the target here. So here's my 2 Alphas. Oh, sorry. Alpha, Alpha, Charlie, Charlie. There's that Delta up in the shoulder. Now those were the 2 that I shot one-handed as the food truck guy. And this again, I don't want to assign who's who on those kind of things. Now the other thing to consider is our guard was backing up. So he started right here. I'm at about 3 yards and he was backing up. Now I can do this. You may or may not be able to do this on your range, but he shot from about back there. But he threw the guy with his, you know, put some pressure on the guy. Hey, you've already been trespassed. Legally, you're not supposed to be here. Please leave. And that's when Our food truck guy draws the gun. So our bad guy's like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, and start shooting. If that's something you can work on at your range, that's definitely something to do. I didn't have a timer on that because I didn't really want to put one on there because backing up and timer all that. A couple of A-zone hits. Do that one more time. And again, if you can do this at your range, great. But I'm gonna hit the button and I'm not gonna go until I get my go signal, my auditory go signal. And again, he had a visual one, so we can't recreate all of this because you don't want to put a bad guy down there shooting at you, but we can create the problem to some degree. Now I could put 16 into that thing and see how it went, but I've got a Alpha and a Charlie. One up here, one down there. Wasn't really looking at my top for the second shot. I just threw a second one down there just to have two go. From the beep, that was a 1.46 for both shots, a 1.26 for the first, and then a 0.2 split because I lost my dot as I was moving. So again, these are things that you should be working on that we can all work on. Hopefully, if your range will allow you to do that movement, great. If not, you can still do that draw to first shot or even gun in hand. What I typically do if I'm adding or if I'm at a range where they won't let us draw is I add a full second. So if gun in hand, I add a full second to that. It's probably maybe a little bit generous for the other side, but add that full second and see where you are with those kind of things and just play with it. Again, you know, this is just trying to recreate the problems that we see out there in real life. This was a real life scenario that we can kind of recreate the problem and we can decide, am I gonna be a headshot guy? Am I gonna be a body shot guy? Who do I wanna be on that day? Where do I feel the most confident that I can end the fight on demand without taking as much pain on my own self or that of my loved ones. So come back again here next week. I got another one that I'm gonna make here in just a few minutes, but we'll post that one in about a week. But again, if you've got some of the videos from our main channel or anywhere out there where you wanna see the problem recreated to some degree on the range that you can work on, send me an email. I'd love to do it. These are fun. Talk to you later.